out your 6-minute solution. Turn to the third passage and date it 4/18/14. And Skylar, will you move over and partner with Jameson? And Isaiah, will you move over and partner with Clark?
Oh. Jameson has pop. Oh, wait, never mind. I heard the carbonation. Pop.
First reader is on the left, second reader is on the right. First reader, be ready in 3, 2, 1, begin. Stop. Mark your partner's spot where they ended. Second reader, be ready in 3, 2, 1, begin. Mark your partner's spot. If they missed a word or words, tell them what they missed, how to pronounce them correctly, and then total up their words in exchange papers. Once you've looked at your word count total, you can put these in your folder and take out your yellow anticipation guide from the outside. Reminder, it looks like this. Look, we're going to start reading. So I'd like to see out something to write with, your yellow anticipation guide, and everything else on the floor, please. Do you listen?
every word. I went through every single book and I read them. I seriously did. I went through every one.
I believe you, Max. Oh, and where's your paper?
I'm looking for it. No, we had game words.
Alright, here's what we're going to do. Oh, you guys still need to be with your partners, those of you who slid back. So you went through and you answered the questions, and then you were writing to the prompt, choose one of the statements above and write a detailed explanation of why you agree or disagree with it. And you were asked to fill all the lines. We talked about this would take probably 2 or 3 sentences in order to do it well. What you're going to do right now is you're going to share with your partner what you wrote. Tell out of the 10 things you could have picked from why you picked that. Partner A read first, so this time we'll have partner B go first, partner A go second.
I said all these 10 things. I said there's no way because also things that have the best information. So probably was like
I said that it's common.
All right. Raise your hand if you wrote about number 1. Raise your hand if you wrote about number 2. Raise your hand if you wrote about number 3. Raise your hand if you wrote about number 4. Raise your hand if you wrote about number 5. Raise your hand if you wrote about number 6. Raise your hand if you wrote about number 7. Raise your hand if you wrote about number 8. Raise your hand if you wrote about number 9. Raise your hand if you wrote about number 10.
I wrote 32.
All right, so number 9, siblings are naturally competitive. A lot of people seem to write about that one. Samantha, you wrote on that one? And what did you have to say?
I said that I disagree with it just because I have a brother and we have no competitiveness at all.
Raise your thumb if you have the same experience with your siblings. Thumbs down if you have a different experience with them.
What if you didn't really have any experiences?
Then you don't have to vote. Interesting. I love it when people said they don't feel competitive with their siblings.
Wait, I do.
I'm in the middle.
Thumbs down is competitive.
I grew up as an only child because my sister and brother were so much, like they were in high school when I was
I was
born.
gonna say, you are so lucky if you were in my child.
And I have 2 kids that are 22 months apart, and they are very competitive against each other. So I think if you're in a situation where your siblings are not competitive with you, you're very fortunate. Number 10, a lot of people answered. It said kids from wealthy families are more intelligent than kids from poor families. Who wrote on that one again?
I probably would have if I did.
Zach, what did you write?
I wrote, the kids from wealthy families are not always smart. I disagreed with that because kids from wealthy families are not always smart than kids from poor families because they're not always not smart.
Okay. Owen, what else do you think?
I didn't write about it, but I just think that there's like different types of smart. So like they like poor kids are usually like street smart and everything.
Okay, we could talk about different types of intelligence where you might be a little bit more worldly. What else, Connor?
Well, I didn't read about that either, but if like the wealthier families like choose to like buy like more clothes or like new kitchen appliances or stuff like that, they can spend it on whatever they want. If like the poor families, they can they go to school too, but it depends on what the wealthier families spend it on, because if they wanted to, they could spend it on, like, education.
Okay. This is my personal viewpoint. You can agree or disagree. That's the nice thing about everyone having their own opinion. Is I think the type of family you come from is what makes, or at least contributes to the way that you become smart. If you come from a family where your mom or your dad or your grandparents or whoever is a primary person raising you values education, I don't think it matters if you have a lot of money or not. You're going to grow up valuing education. If you grew up in a family where it's not that important, it's not a priority, then it's harder for you to learn that it should be a priority and that the things you do in school are going to carry over to a career for you. And that's just my own opinion. I grew up in a family that did not have a lot of money, and it was from, as long as I can remember, told that you will go to college. And then the older I got, you will earn good grades, so you can get scholarships, or you can take student loans. So that's my personal opinion. You can agree or disagree as much as you would like on that. I'm interested to see what you wrote on your papers, though, so make sure you have your name and number on there. And then would you give them to Audrey and Emma and Jonah and Caitlin?
Thank you, Emma.
This is really, I just get to it.